The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Power Trading Hour, with your host, David White. Call now, toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044. Now, David White.
And welcome, folks, to another exciting edition of the Power Trading Hour. Normally, we would just be minutes off the FOMC meeting notes and see a lot of volatility. Of course, we had somebody pull the old honest mistake and release the notes early. And, you know, it's not like this hasn't happened 100 times before. You know something's up, and someone's got the what was that? What's the name of that movie? Where they kept thumbing their noses at each other to give everybody the signal. Yeah, someone will say. But certainly it was a nice little con job out here. And if you want my opinion, you're going to get it anyway. If you go to somebody and let's say like a little store down the street, and you walk in there, and every time you give them $10 and the bill's $8, they give you back $1 and short you $1. Well, if that happens 10 times, are they cheating you? Are they just horribly bad at giving change? The answer is with $1 billion to 1 odds, they're stealing money from you. And today we see that yet again. I wonder if there's going to be any, at least phony outrage. And what is really funny is I turned on CNBC just for a minute. They won't even name who did it, which is kind of weird. And, you know, I don't know, on their side, do they want you not listening to the other people because maybe they will leak the notes early? I mean, I guess there's the double-edged sword for them not naming who did it. But I guess we'll probably know who did it soon enough. I checked everywhere I could, and it was just another source, another broadcast medium, another something. No one would name. Maybe this is the broadcast company that cannot be named. We'll figure that out soon enough. Of course, markets really, I thought, were pretty much locked into an expiration at 2100 for this Friday. And, of course, we went down to 2070, tested it again, back up in this area again. My guess is we'll be looking at that 2100 number on Friday. I didn't think that there was a lot of chance for this market to move. Didn't know how much by hook and crook they would have to do it. But certainly they got a lot of people short. Now they're going to be running them till the end of the day. I had one position that we put on, and we'll see how it turns out. But I was risking a quarter. I actually had 10 calls, and we'll see how they pan out by Friday. My guess is right now, after the reaction with the dollar index and the reaction of other things, that we're probably, I'm probably going to break even on them by the end of the day or tomorrow, and then that will be it. There won't be a lot of money to be made. Of course, the only thing that truly moved down significantly, as far as I could tell, is the dollar index still trading around 96.50. So it didn't go down and bust out that 96.30 level that we've been looking at. And just hurry up and wait from the Fed. They dodged it again. They played chicken. Playing chicken is different. They were chickens. They were cowards. They told everybody they were going to raise, and then they backed off. I don't think anybody's going to believe them after this. I think after probably about 2 weeks sets in, everybody's going to just ignore them from now on and know that they're liars. They are the proverbial boy who cried wolf. They're never going to do anything. And I think we're probably going to start seeing the market react to that, although the reason that the market's going to react to that is going to be a lot different than most people think. I have a feeling that they're going to have a tough job seeing all the rest of the world try to pile into the dollar as the only thing that isn't going down right now. It'll probably go down later. But my guess is we're going to see a ton of cash over the next couple of weeks move into the U.S. markets once again to buy stocks, because apparently it's the only thing, at least the S&P, it's the only thing that's not going down at the moment. And there's always that desire for everybody to chase, especially at the end of markets, chase markets in. So, we've got gold up a little bit today. Didn't really, on that number, really didn't blow out, what we saw earlier today. It's up a little bit more. But, I can't put a finger on anything that has given a signal since we've gotten that news that really tells me that anything other than the status quo is going on for the next couple of weeks. But we will take a look at it. Anyway, you can give me a call at 877-927-6648. You can email me at path@tfnn.com. You can post a message in the den. And, is it the... they just don't know. Anyway, it's catch-22. In fact, I said that, 3-4 weeks ago? This market is catch-22. Bad news is good news. Good news is bad news. Really bad news is good news. End of the world is good news. Ebola, good news. SARS, good news. If it's, Armageddon, that's good news. That'll bring the energy stocks up. Everybody's got to get to Armageddon to have it. So, we'll be watching for those energy prices going up. Of course, very weak today and not a whole lot of pullback since the announcement. If anything, it got momentarily worse. I haven't had a chance to check them. In the meantime, we got to get this party started, because that's what it's all about here.
That it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
And in history today, in 2004, internet search giant Google has announced it will go public at $85 a share, paving the way for the widely awaited but troubled stock offering to finally stumble onto the market Thursday. And kind of very interesting is that I don't remember it at all that way. What CNN and Money and the rest of everybody on Wall Street hated was that Google had one of the last Dutch auctions for stocks that I can remember. I think there have been a couple other ones, but they've been rather small. Google said, extended their middle finger to Wall Street and said, hey, I understand that you want to screw over everybody, but we're not interested in it. We're going to do a Dutch auction. You can go pound salt. And a lot of people dogged this thing at the very beginning. That has been kind of the love-hate relationship that Wall Street has had with Google. And every once in a while, you find somebody still throwing rocks at Google for probably this reason alone. No one liked it, that Google didn't need the thieves of Wall Street as much as they thought they did. And the Dutch auction went off without a hitch. There were times where maybe $85 a share looked a little strong. In fact, the very beginning, stock probably was worth about $45. A couple of years later, of course, everybody had moved on for it. Google had figured out a way to make money on the internet searches, and it went up. But if you were in it at the IPO price, not the $85 opening price on the first day, you're up about 1,500% after all these years. And all the naysayers, especially those on Wall Street, that didn't get their beak wet on the first day like they thought that they should. And there was a lot of stuff out there where Google just said, we don't need your mumbo jumbo. We don't need your guarantees. And for the first couple of years, they took it in the chin. I was always a little wary of them just because they hadn't figured out really how to make money either, like of a lot of other stocks. But they figured it out. They've moved on, and now they're looking at becoming a powerhouse like Berkshire Hathaway. and maybe splitting up and spinning some stocks and portions of the company off over time and become a juggernaut in Silicon Valley. All this on this day in 2004. Other things of interest after hours tonight, we've got a lot of stocks at 1:30. The only ones, I don't have updated prices right now, but the only one that really seemed to be incredibly weak was Youku, which is the Chinese stock. In fact, I'm going to pop up a real quick Youku quote. Why? See if any of that has come back since 1:30. And it's down 59 cents now, which is about a little over 3% right now. So not a great deal happening in that. When we look at the S&Ps and volume right now, we're at 2093. We've got 2.2 billion shares on the S&P cash. But I think it was preordained to see this market close at 2100 on Friday, and a lot of people are going to be insane and pulling their hair out. I took one little $250 dash at anything happening this week, and maybe that didn't play out. Maybe it does. Maybe I lose 7 cents on my 25-cent options. We shall see. We'll have to see what happens over the next day or two. But my guess is that why we have a little bit of weakness in the dollar today, I suspect that by tomorrow we're probably going to see more cash coming in from Europe and China as people rally and race to find the last ship that has not sunk but is still taking on water. Other things of interest out here. Lending Club. Didn't get to this yesterday, but I had it on my list and forgot to get to it. Just so you know, if you're thinking about being in this stock, it has a huge issue in front of the Supreme Court. It is all about lending money across state lines. And, of course, a lot of the big banks out there are pushing the regulators to clamp down on these young upstarts. It's no good to be giving people loans like this. And just keep an eye on it. Just remember that I did tell you. It will hear the case probably in October. We'll probably get a little idea about which way they're leaning on it. But most of it has to do with a little-known law that a lot of these bigger bankers don't want Lending Club out here muddying the water for what they believe is their business. And the way to do business is decided by them, not by some upstart young competitor like the Lending Club. Ashley Madison also was making news today. Of course, the hackers that stole all the almost 10 gigabytes of data with credit card numbers and everything else released it online. And you could get it on an Onion Tor-based browser if you want. We'll talk about more about this when we come back. But another company that thought it was going public, but that didn't care about protecting anybody's data. They get what they deserve. We'll be back in a minute.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tiger TV is an exciting way to experience TFNN programming. See high-definition video, giving you crisp crystal clear charts, as well as seeing some of the faces of TFNN's highly acclaimed financial experts with crisp, full fidelity sound. Catch Tom O'Brien, John Logan, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, Larry Pesavento, Think or Swim, David White, Andy Hecht, and Daryl Martin in crystal clear, high definition audio and video. Tiger TV, exclusively at TFNN.com. Platinum, grains, crude oil, gold, copper, cattle, hogs, gasoline, natural gas, coffee, cotton, cocoa, and sugar. These are just some of the commodities mentioned in the most recent issue of Andy Hecht's Techno-Mental Commodity Report. Andy publishes his weekly newsletter every Thursday morning, where he breaks down the commodity market and provides his subscribers with specific trading recommendations based on his trading methodology. By signing up for a free trial to the Techno-Mental Commodity Report, you'll get a full 30 days to try out this powerful newsletter service and see for yourself the types of trades Andy has recommended for his subscribers. When you sign up for a 30-day free trial, you're under no obligation to pay anything. And should you decide to continue, you will lock in the low rate of only $79 a month. Sign up right now for the Techno-Mental Commodity Report and make sure you're ready to catch the next big trade in commodities. For more information and to get started today, visit the front page of TFNN.com.
Biotech is booming, but for how long? Whether you think the biotech bull has room to run or has run its course, trade LABU or LABD. Direction's daily S&P Biotech 3 times bull and bear ETFs. Visit directioninvestments.com/biotech today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 866-476-7523. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC.
Many of our new listeners have heard about the Tiger's Den, but wondered, what exactly is it? The Tiger's Den is a lively community where professional traders and investors can meet, exchange ideas and information in a comfortable, moderated atmosphere. Hear all of your favorite TFNN shows, plus see all the charts as they happen live during those shows, and have access to all those charts. You can test drive the Tiger's Den absolutely free for 30 days. It will greatly enrich your knowledge of these markets. Details on the Tiger's Den are on the front page of TFNN.com. Dave takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
And that movie I couldn't think of that they kept thumbing their nose at each other, The Sting. Easy now, but of course. The music by Scott Joplin from Joplin, Missouri, and the old ragtime theme. But yeah, everybody kept thumbing their nose. Somehow I just have a feeling that someone on Wall Street just did that. Oh, hit the microphone. Just thumbed their nose or touched their nose, and the con was on. And I don't know. What else that? And as our engineer is trying to horn in on my action,
I informed you thusly.
So we will continue on. We were talking about Ashley Madison. I continue to wonder why no one thinks that information security is important. Ashley Madison, the company, may want to now. They were going to try to do IPO in the just right before this happened. And it was pretty much everything that everybody looked for, and that is they spilled all the beans. The only interesting thing that I see with Ashley Madison was that the data that they had, they finally actually used encryption on the passwords and on some of the other data. Now, will they be able to break it? I think they've got enough data, a big enough data size to actually figure it out, but it's probably going to take a while. If you had your credit card on there, you better probably call your credit card company and change the number. And I don't know if there's anything else more you can say about it than that, other than a lot of people with famous names were on that list. Of course, their emails didn't match, but a lot of people were using big-time names as the people they were supposed to be on the cheating website. But I don't know. Can you say hackers finally did the right thing once, or at least half the right thing? Probably didn't do the right thing stealing the data, but by putting it all out there, the thought is that no one can use it for blackmail now because it's accessible to everyone. Anyway, of course, yesterday we started seeing papers leak, and today wasn't the only early leak. Yesterday was a leak from a white paper dissecting the U.S. central bank's action to stem the financial crisis in 2008-9. The vice president of the St. Louis Fed finds fault with three key policy tenets, but basically when they come down to it, all the QEs did next to nothing. Inflation and real economic activity was not changed, and they figure they got about 10 cents on the dollar for every dollar they threw at the problem, and they thought it could have been handled a great deal better politically than through the Fed. And I think that tells you everything about the possibility of seeing QE anytime soon. And, of course, all those morons that said that 1937 they just let it go too early are now probably proved wrong. And they just found out that what they did didn't ever work ever anyway. They've had plenty of time to make it work this time, 10 times the amount of cash, even by today's dollars, and it did not work. So I'm giving a QE the fail whale like Stephen Williamson of the St. Louis Fed. Commodities are in the turlet. If you like old 70s TV like I do, Glencore PLC swung to a steep half-year loss and disappointed investors over debt reduction efforts as it struggles with falling raw material prices. What was it? Off 15% pre-market. I haven't looked at it now, but it was down pretty good. I don't see anything changing that picture anytime soon in this market. Maybe a rate hike would actually make people think that the market was good. All the phony stuff they didn't. Maybe it's time for some reverse psychology. But Glencore, as a commodities trading business, ugly, ugly, ugly. And, of course, according to Mr. Archie Bunker, it's in the turlet. Greece can't help themselves if you're trading gold and have anything to do with Eldorado Gold. Basically, Greece is saying they violated the terms of technical studies, and they're revocating those study approvals. So they're telling everybody to get out of the mines and go away. Everything I read probably means that they just want to take the mine. There's nothing like socialism. Eventually, you run out of other people's money, but not today. They're going after the Eldorado Gold mine and taking theirs, as good socialists always do. Well, anyway, they just can't help themselves. We'll be back in a minute.
The Path of Least Resistance is David White's daily trading newsletter, and if you're looking for active trading ideas, then now's a perfect time for a 30-day free trial to this powerful daily trading advisory service. David uses his years of trading experience to offer his subscribers his trading ideas each morning in his Path of Least Resistance newsletter. Using a combination of equity trades along with options, David keeps his subscribers up to date with all pertinent market information with intraday afternoon updates when warranted. Don't miss out on this great chance to get a 30-day free trial to David's daily newsletter, The Path of Least Resistance, with no obligation to pay anything. David has been delivering solid recommendations for his subscribers recently, and if you'd like to see the type of newsletter he delivers every morning, then visit the front page of TFNN and you'll find The Path of Least Resistance under Trading Newsletters. For all the details and to start your 30-day free trial today, log on to TFNN.com now. Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's NADEX.com. Or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
Today, it's hard to tell if the economy is coming or going. Regardless, I want my money going in the direction I choose. If that's your stance as well, then you want to know how Everbank can help keep your money thriving just the way you want. Is growing your money a priority? Everbank is committed to a yield pledge promise to pay high yields on your checking, money market, and CD balances. Looking to diversify? Everbank ingeniously developed accessible ways to spread your money around the world into foreign currencies and even non-FDIC insured metals. And when it comes to your wealth, they bring a highly experienced and global perspective to help you manage it. Everbank's financial philosophy flies in the face of the status quo. They believe your money's performance should not be determined by today's economic circumstances, but by the drive to rise above them and create opportunities that favor your objectives. If that excites you like it does me, visit everbank.com/TFNN to find out what they can do for you. Again, that's everbank.com/TFNN. Visit them today. Everbank is a member FDIC and equal housing lender.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
And as we're back, we're off 7 points on the S&P cash, 2.33 billion shares volume, kind of slowing down. We got to what, 2093 or so, pulled back a little bit. Still going to be a little push and shove probably into the end of the day. Again, I'm looking for expiration at 2100 on the S&P cash on Friday. That we got this little bit of movement out here, probably a little bit more than even I thought. But just trying to keep the pot stirred, I guess, is what they're doing. 2.3 billion shares. So volume, 230, not all that big. We've got some earnings coming out tonight, but nothing that's really going to move the market tomorrow. After the bell, HP, could that kind of move maybe semis and technology a little bit? They'd really have to whiff on pretty low expectations already. But that would probably be it. John Deere on Friday morning might move the Dow into Friday's expiration. But until then, we don't have a great deal going on. There is a new ETF out for crack spreads. It came out today. It is called CRAK. I looked through it during our downtime after lunch. It is a world crack spread ETF, not just U.S. companies. I thought it was kind of interesting. Went through a lot of them, but about 28% are U.S. companies, and the rest international from China, Japan, Sweden, think Norway, South Africa, maybe some of them I didn't even know the names, so I don't know exactly where they're from. They were rather minor stocks. I couldn't look up the symbols. They're just a big, long number, and who knows where those things trade. But it's going to be a world ETF on crack spreads, and you might want to check it out, CRAK. I did a little earlier today. But they picked a hell of a day to come out with a crack spread ETF. But maybe it's just a perfect time. Who knows? Companies in them are Formosa Petrochemical, Cosmo Oil Company, Caltex, Australia, Galp Energy, South Africa, Holly Frontier, JX Holdings, which I think is in China. But again, one of these numbered companies, who knows? Marathon Oil, Neste. Is that like Neste? It's Neste. This is the Swedish one, PK Norlin. I think it's Swedish. In the fjords, Pinen for the, anyway. Phillips 66, Reliance Energy, Tereso, Tupras, which is in Turkey, Valero, and Western Refining are some of them that I could figure out. No, a handful of other real tiny ones. Might be in Vietnam, as far as I know. A few of those. Couldn't tell what they were, but you can check it out. Anyway, a hell of a day to come out with a new one. We're going to get into the market here quickly, and we'll take a look. Wanted to take a look at Intel and how it, INTL, how it was doing here. It was down a little bit. You could make a case this is making an ABC down. I don't think so. I think it's going back to test $26.35. News out on it today is that the new Skylake processors that are kind of coming out and then PCs in the next few months. I got the updated copy of Windows, the next Windows 10 version that will be out and updated to machines probably in a few months, maybe less. That new version allows you to have your machine at rest, asleep, and say, hey, wake up, Cortana, and the machine will wake up on you. It's only in these new processors that have a super low power mode that can be active but not doing a whole lot, but not have to run the power fans on your machine. So it needs new motherboards along with the new processors, other things too. But just a long line of new features are going to be coming out over time with Windows 10 as you move along. But very interesting. What? This is not Intel. What am I looking at here? INTC. Yeah, people probably think I'm nuts. Anyway, a nice little doji out here. I wonder why this, it looks just like the same chart. I wonder what the deal is. Anyway, nice little doji out here today, but 2762, excuse me, for being confused and dazed on a day like this. We're trading out at 2090 on the S&P cash on a nice rock and roll day. Okay, other things of interest that I wanted to get to. Maybe I got to Vail. Let's take a look at some of these companies and see if there's any possibility of finding a bottom out here. Well, you certainly pierced the low on Vail, and so far it's on lighter volume. The July 27th low came in at $4.91. You're into it at 22 million shares. I would have liked a lot more to think that you were going to get some kind of V bottom. At best, you probably are looking for consolidation and this stock moving up later. If you would have had 50% volume, something like 15 million shares by the end of the day, I think you could make a case that maybe this had hit some bottom, maybe a temporary bottom for the week out here, but still looks to me like it's going to need some consolidation before it finds some kind of low as we go along here. Other energy names, MRO, biting the proverbial big one, Marathon Oil. This went down to $16.08 today. Hasn't done a huge retracement since then. It is down lighter than the August 6th low, which of course was much higher at 21 million shares, 13 million shares. So maybe you get a little bit of 1 or 2 day bounce out here, maybe in a couple of days. but I'm going to have to see how this thing comes in with a volume before the end of the day. The rest of these stocks all looking about as bad. Now let's look at EOG real quick. It's on my radar here. Yeah, it had a nice bounce. Looks like it's getting ready to come back and test the $72.86 level from July 27th. You got a higher volume low actually at 8 million shares on the 7th too, and that's pretty much telling you that probably $73 at least is going to get tested. Got about a fairly decent down in this today. Volume didn't pick up dramatically, but it did pick up compared to the last 3 trading days we had that were going sideways out here as this thing came back down. But looks to me like $73 level on very light volume might be the first available place to buy this. Of course, Twitter is all the rage on CNBC. This is at least down on light volume compared to the August 7th low at 18 million shares. You got 16 million today. So probably by the end of the day, this thing's actually going to break that $26.87 low today. It's in that candle. Didn't break the physical low, but look for it to test that 26.87. And again, much more likely that this thing would go sideways than a V bottom out here anytime soon. Yum Brands went up to the bell last night, also up today. New CEO of its China division, and that guy is retiring. I wonder if that's a euphemism if you are in China. Retiring means they took you out to a field and shot you. I don't know. It always seems like things are a little rougher over there. But just getting a new CEO seems to be it. You got this high volume low that's got to get tested at 78.72. So I wouldn't be going along this thing anytime soon. Probably going to see that 78.72 tested sooner rather than later. Let's take a quick look at Rio real quick. I've got some emails that I will want to answer. Got plenty of time to do it today. We were down for Rio Tinto against the 3.1 million share of July 27th with 2.5 million shares already. This has actually gone below. Well, it did it with went below the July 8th low with 4.2 million shares on the 24th with 4.9 million shares. So it's broken that low with higher volume. We got into 3.1 for the lowest low on July 27th. You'd like to see volume less than that. And while we may close above that low today, it doesn't look like a whole lot out here is beckoning me to take a big chance. 2087 on the S&P cash as we speak. And see if we have anything else. Dollar index at 96.55. So it is still above the 96.30 level, which has been acting as support. Even though we've had a couple of false breakdowns through that, it's popped right back above it, off 50 cents on it today. What else do we have? Yeah, let's see. Okay. Let me get back to the stuff on my list. Buffalo Wild Wings. We were talking about that. BWLD and football season coming up. Wanted to see if this thing actually was doing anything. It's going up against the 195 level that had 1.3 million shares on February 6th. And volume continues to be incredibly light back up at these highs. It's got to 199.63 today. Closed back below 195.83 would suggest this thing is back in the trading range. I don't think I could trade this unless it went back and filled at least a great deal of the gap back down to about 175, 176. And I think it's got a fairly decent pattern that at least it's due that kind of retracement unless something significant happens in this thing in the next couple of days. But the fall is always a fairly good season for this with all the football games and a pickup in business. Take a quick look at GG out here. It's up into its previous high of, what is that, the 12th, that had 15 million shares. We got 7 million shares on Gold Corp today. So certainly not going to break the highs on Gold Corp with this volume today. Yeah, it is the 19th. So we'll continue keeping an eye on those. Let's take a quick look on the GLD. But it is up at the highs, so you have to kind of keep an eye on that. As we look at the GLD, it's back up and kind of filling this gap that actually occurred on, what is that, the 20th of July, 20th of July. This thing gapped down on 15.7 million shares on the 20th. The first day that got into that was 10 million shares. You had 3.5, 5.7, 4.1. Today you got 4.1 going up against that gap fill from the 20th of July that had 15.7 million shares. You probably got just about everything you should get. It's going to probably have to consolidate if it's going to blow past that downside volume. And right now, I'm not seeing that kind of volume that would make you think this thing is taken off. But it's done about pretty much what it did, which is filling that gap down from the 20th of July. Let's see what else I have here on my radar. Got a couple of emails, non-specific emails. We looked at Vail, Twitter, CHRW. A stock that has pretty much been up all day long. Robinson Worldwide. It's going up against a 1.3 million share high from August 5th. It's got 1 million shares, so it's kind of getting there. There was a bigger day that was up here on the 29th of July at 3.5 million shares, which would be, you'd really want something much bigger than the 1.3 on August 5th. That it's just got about 1 million shares up there suggests that why it can hang out here for a few more days through expiration. Not a lot of juice to drive it higher. Let's look at PBR. Petrobras, of course, the Brazilian company, looks like to me that it's going to go back and test the $4.90 low from March 13th. That had 56 million shares. He had 22 million shares today. So we may be getting close finally to some low in some of these stocks. But this is not actually a bad-looking chart if it would go down there and test on very light volume, continued light volume, the March 13th low at $4.90. And that looks rather probable between now and then. So let's take a look at the markets. 2085, so we're off 11 points, 10 points on the S&P cash, 2.43 billion shares. Of course, it's all going to be about the last 30 minutes of the day, like it always is. And we'll have Tom O'Brien in the next 2 hours to call that out. But off $10, and not going to probably scare a lot of people out of the market with that by the end of the day. But the market's a little weak. But light volume, expiration week, high goes to the bottom.
TFNN is excited to offer a brand new piece of market scanning software unlike anything the industry has ever seen. John Logan and his team have spent years developing their market profile tools to finally be able to release the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. And right now you can get a 2-week trial absolutely free just by visiting TFNN.com and providing us your name and email address. The TAS Profile Scanner Plus is the premier market profile based scanner in the industry. Powered by the acclaimed TAS proprietary algorithms, this feature-rich scanner is a standalone desktop software that instantly filters over 2,500 global financial markets such as stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, and Forex. Within 3 minutes of signing up, you can have the software downloaded and running on your computer with a complete roadmap of market indicators and inflection points to trade off using the TAS Profile Scanner Plus. Sign up today and try this amazing piece of software by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Trader's Edge, heard daily at TFNN.com and author of Mastering Probability, a daily investment and trading newsletter service that I send out each morning by 8 a.m. My morning newsletter service covers exactly what the markets have been doing since last night's close, providing you with an edge on your trading day ahead. You get actionable trading ideas, including the exact entry, stop, and profit targets. Plus, I'll teach you the patterns and hidden market correlations that will make you a better trader. As a subscriber, you'll gain access to my 90-minute money management workshop, where I'll teach you the secrets that'll save your assets. The bottom line, I've got your back, including a 30-day money-back guarantee. See for yourself the type of analysis I provide each trading day by signing up for Mastering Probability today. With nothing to lose, this is an offer you should not pass on. Mastering Probability can be found under Trading Newsletters on the front page of TFNN.com.
Catch Tom O'Brien, professional trader and educator, founder of TFNN. Also, a special guest on CNBC. Tom will bisect and dissect the markets. The Tom O'Brien Show, next on TFNN.
Dollar index is off 44 cents. No big deal. We've got the S&P down 12 points at 2084, 2.46 billion shares. A little weaker than you would think off that move back higher. But maybe a little people thinking maybe it's time to take a little cash off the table since they didn't run it right back up. My guess is we're probably going to see 5-10 points over the next 2 days. And they're going to get it up to 2095 or 2100 or something like that. Try to wipe out a lot of puts, at least in the S&P and the SPYs, that kind of stuff. But not a whole lot happening. We got down to 114.68 on Apple, and it's up to 115.32. Looks to me like they're trying to lock this thing in at 115 for expiration. I don't see a lot of movement or a lot of volume in this thing today. Of course, you've got that high volume low at 109.63, so we're probably going to go head back down to there. But I continue to think, well, the market's just a little weaker than I thought maybe it might be. Down 14. We'll have to see how this thing closes here today. Anyway, if we see anything else really huge moving these markets, certainly it didn't Apple today, down a little bit, not a lot. VIX up a little bit, but still won't take more than a day or so going sideways to see that come back off a lot. Not even seeing a lot of movement in some of these stocks that have been down, like the IBB's off 2.5 points. It was down to 361 earlier. It's weak. We had the puts on it that we covered last week on it and got in pretty much at the right time. Got out at a good profit, probably not the perfect time, but it kind of looks like to me like this thing's going a little bit sideways out here. Probably going to get a little pop back up in there into this, maybe 375, maybe that would be a good spot to reshort these. But that's pretty much it. We got a couple of minutes left. Had some questions. MNST as a short. Leanne. And you know what? You need this thing just to close back under pretty much. Let's get this correct. Got enough time. Displaced moving average. You just need this thing to close back under the 3x3 displaced moving average to pull the trigger on it. The idea would be that this thing is at least going to 138.60. And my guess, you're probably looking at 136, where this thing gapped up on some mild volume back on the 13th of July. But certainly it is getting ready to set up that double repo pattern that I like so much. And, 138, 136, if you get volume on the next down move in this, maybe you'd look for the 127, 128 level on it. One other question was they were looking in the news and said, how can they get data back from hard drives that someone wiped? And it is possible. The CIA has done a lot of work and hired a lot of people in Silicon Valley to do it. But it is possible. If you have data on your hard drive you truly want scrubbed, the government basically rewrites over a dozen times, writing ones and zeros repeatedly, and then they throw it into a wood chipper, except it's actually a metal chipper, to make sure that data can't get back. So pretty much you ought to probably pound the bejesus out of it with a hammer if you truly don't want someone getting hold of your hard drive someday. In the meantime, so when you can, not when you have to. We'll see you here tomorrow. Same bat channel, same bat time. And we'll walk this market out of expiration.
Larry Pesavento has just started his brand new service, Fibonacci 24/7, and he's already delivering content to his subscribers on a daily basis when the market's opened and even on weekends. Each Monday, you'll receive Larry's written report that provides detailed commentary and a summary on the charts and videos that Larry sends out. And throughout the week, when warranted, Larry will send out via charts or videos or both the key markets that he is watching during the day. This will be up-to-the-date, active trading information that will help you in your daily trading. In Larry's first week alone, he sent out 25 charts, 6 videos, and a full report to his subscribers in just 1 week. If you're a technical trader that uses patterns and retracements to trade, then Larry's service Fibonacci 24/7 is something that you must try. Right now, new subscribers can get a full 30-day money-back guarantee. With nothing to risk, sign up now to Larry Pesavento's Fibonacci 24/7 by visiting the front page of TFNN.com under Trading Newsletters.
You're watching Tiger TV.